So Joe, we're talking extracurricular activities and you've been involved in the EVIT competition. Tell us more about this.
So that was running all through last year from about August till December, and it was a series of Model United Nations debates where we all had to represent a country in teams of 2 and then talk about various resolutions and propose amendments. And it sounds kind of boring, but it was actually really interesting, especially when you've got like Iran and the US in the same room and they're fighting against each other the whole time.
So what sort of issues did you debate?
We talked about Ebola and ISIS, like all the big contentious issues at the moment, as well as more abstract things like the internet being a human right, or access to water in various countries and aid, and just about every single current issue that there is.
Now Musha, you're in Year 12 and currently studying legal studies, thinking that you might be interested in doing youth parliament?
Yes, the opportunity's been extended to me by my legal studies teacher, Mrs. Shearer. And yes, it's very exciting. They do a lot of good work there, and it sounds like an amazing place where I could develop skills for the rest of my life.
Now Fletcher, you have represented St Brendan Shaw on the debating team.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about that.
Well, Mrs. Littler organises it all and she helps us with it. She's helped us with the formalities of debating and all that. And we're the only Northwest team Northwest school, I should say, to go down to debate and do that.
Now being part of the debating team takes up a fair chunk of your time outside of school. What sort of things do you have to do to practice?
Well, we have our practice debates usually every year. We'll have one of those, and then we have meetings every now and again, and where we watch the PowerPoint for all the new debaters. And then, so it takes from 4 till 10 every Wednesday night. So we're really blessed that Mrs. Littler takes the time to drive us.
Okay, Emily, now you say you've got a bit of an enjoyment for public speaking.
Yes, this will be my second year doing public speaking, although I did about 3 or 4 events last year, and hopefully over the course of this year I'll probably do maybe 5 or 6. I have this teacher, Mrs. Shearer, who is in charge of all of the public speaking stuff, and I signed up for one thing, Youth Parliament, and then she seemed to put me on the list for everything. So whatever came up, she was just like, oh, why don't you do this? So I ended up doing a lot more than what I thought I was when I started Youth Parliament.
Okay, Tiana, now you have organised your own school team for Relay for Life, which is quite soon. How did you go about getting that together?
Well, I've always been a part of the Relay for Life. When I was young, one of my best friend's mum passed away with cancer, and so since then I've kind of been involved with it. I'm on the junior committee as well, and last year at the Relay I noticed St Brendans didn't have a team and nearly every other school did, so I straight away went to Mr. Bazzano and he thought it was a great idea.
Okay, now Jordan, we hear that one of your extracurricular activities has been restoring a Mini Cooper. This is something that Lee would be quite interested in. Tell us a little bit more.
It's very... Well, at first I really wanted to have a Mini, but my pop was doing up another Mini, so I was like, oh, I could have that one.
Does the school help along the way?
Yes, it does. I do applied tech, and my applied tech teacher does like motor things and that of one of the extracurriculums, and we talk about how bits of the cars go together.
Okay, Jess, we get the vibe that we've got a few budding politicians here at St Brendan Shaw. Tell us more about your experience at Youth Parliament.
So Youth Parliament was essentially a bit of a meet-up of a group of people in July last year and April this year, where people pretend to be 2 sides of government, and then they debate various bills, propose amendments, and basically just fight about it, just like real politicians would.
Okay, Tasha, so you are heading to New York. That's a bit exciting for the youth conference. Tell us a bit more about that.
So it's a 10-day residential program starting in Washington, and it concludes in New York. And there's about 400 participants from 53 countries. Mr. Bazzano in particular has been a huge support, and we were in his office a few times talking to him about how we could further our fundraising in various ways, and he sort of ambushed the prefects to give us money from the barbecue at the athletics carnival, so the whole school got behind that with the athletics carnival, which was fantastic.
Now, have you found that the school have been really helpful in encouraging you to run activities such as this one?
Yeah, the school have been really helpful with these kind of activities. I know they're always helping any kids that want to raise money. I know last year Rhiannon, she went to Cambodia on a trip, and when she came back she found out one of the kids she was with was sick, and straight away he said put some donation tins around and really helped her to help the kid.
Victoria, you've just finished the UN State Conference. Did you find that the school was supportive and encouraging of you being involved?
Yes, they were very supportive, especially financially. There's a teacher, Mrs. Shearer, she's very supportive. She gave me the confidence and really pushed me to go, and I enjoyed it so much.
And what